We had wanted to visit Prague for years, and going on a Viking Danube River Cruise gave us the perfect opportunity to go and visit the beautiful city of Prague in the Czech Republic.
Welcome to Next Act Cruising. I'm Bob.
And I'm Sarah. In this video, we are going to tell you about our post-cruise stay in Prague, why we chose to do this on our own, and how it compared to Viking's prepackaged post-cruise extension.
We decided to undertake post-cruise travel on our own for several reasons. Number one, we wanted to spend more time in Prague than the post-cruise extensions offered.
2, we were comfortable with planning and making travel arrangements in Europe on our own. And 3, we wanted to see if we could save just a little bit of money.
So stay with us till the end to find out whether the DIY post-cruise stay was a budget buster or a budget winner.
If you have been following our recent videos, and most particularly our review of the Danube River Cruise, you will know that our cruise ended with us being transported to the Regensburg train station to start our travel on our own.
If you want to know more and haven't seen our cruise review, you should give it a watch.
Months earlier in making plans for this cruise, I had determined that if all went well, we would likely be able to take a direct train from Regensburg to Prague. It is always great when you don't have to change trains.
We have traveled by train in Europe. Most of the time, it was in Germany and Switzerland.
The German train system is called the Deutsche Bahn, or DB for short. Before the trip, I made sure my DB account was up and running. However, I waited till we checked in at the cruise to verify when we would be getting off the boat in Regensburg before I actually booked the train tickets.
Prior to this train trip, we had always traveled in second class, but for some reason, we felt a nudge that we should get first class tickets.
We thought it would be a good idea because we have seen in recent years how busy the German trains were. The trip was 4 hours long, and we would have our luggage with us.
This turned out to be an excellent idea because the train was crowded, but we were able to easily find seats in the small first class section.
We were also pretty lucky that our train stayed close to on time.
Upon our arrival at the main Prague train station, we looked around for the taxi stand but couldn't find it, and eventually we had to ask information. Prior to starting the route, our driver showed us on a map where our hotel was located and that the taxi ride would be 28 euros.
Let's just give you a little side note on currency. The Czech Republic has its own currency called the koruna. It appears, however, that in the Czech Republic, they almost equally accept the koruna and the euro. And in fact, in many places, menus showed prices in both koruna and euros. In one restaurant, it even advertised that they took koruna, euros, and US dollars.
The hotel we booked was Moods, Charles Bridge. It was located in the old town part of the city.
Similar to our Budapest stay, I booked a larger room with a desk, chair, and sofa in it. We used Expedia for the booking. Unfortunately, we didn't take any video or photos of the hotel room. What were we thinking?
I don't know, Sarah.
Okay, folks, we'll try to do better next time.
The room was about the same size and configuration as our hotel in Budapest, although this one was on the first floor. Again, we really enjoyed having the extra space in the room.
Our reservation came with a breakfast buffet in the hotel, which was quite good. They even provided breakfast for us to go on the day we left for the airport.
We would recommend this hotel. It was in a good location in the old town, and it was on a quieter street. The staff was friendly. The rooms were clean and well maintained. And the breakfast had a lot of choices on that buffet.
One interesting thing is that the breakfast buffet actually included 2 or 3 dessert cakes every morning. Guess what? I can eat cake for breakfast.
It was in the middle of the afternoon when we arrived into Prague and got settled into our room. We hadn't had lunch, so it was time to eat. We asked our hotel for a restaurant recommendation, and they gave us a recommendation with a coupon that we could use to get a free beer with the meal.
With about a 3-minute walk, we were at the restaurant Stiletti. Bob had fish with vegetables, and I had venison goulash with a bread dumpling.
We had 4 more days ahead of us for sightseeing. We did 2 self-guided tours with voice map. We'll refer you to the video in Budapest for more information on using voice map.
These tours were both through the Old Town, with highlights such as the astronomical clock, the Sigmund Freud hanging in midair, an upside-down horse statue, the rotating statue of Franz Kafka, and the chain bridge. The chain bridge was crowded with an amazing number of tourists.
We ended up riding 2 routes on the hop-on, hop-off bus and doing the river cruise that was associated with it. We met the hop-on, hop-off bus at the Dancing House, which is another famous landmark in Prague.
One morning, we climbed the hill to visit the Prague Castle, with its beautiful vistas over the city of Prague. We ate at one famous dining venue, and that was the Café Louvre. This cafe was operating in the grand days when artists and writers like Franz Kafka would meet in the cafe to drink coffee, read newspapers, and have discussions with other artists and writers.
You are probably wondering, how did we do on our budget challenge against the Viking post-cruise extension package? Let's start with our comparison. Viking Cruises 3-night post-cruise extension cost $2,000.
Our 5-night stay in Prague went like this. The first-class train tickets to Prague were $284. The hotel was $1,105. Taxis were $70. Food was $510. Sightseeing was $204. And souvenirs and gifts were $60. Our total came to $2,235.
That was a little more than the Viking post-cruise extension would have been. But we stayed more nights. Overall, though, I will give ourselves a gold star for the stay in Prague.
Prague is a beautiful city to visit because its old town was not bombed during World War II. Prague and Budapest were both on our bucket list of places to visit, and we were so glad we were able to do both of them combined with this Viking Danube River Cruise. If you were over 60 like us, as a child, you probably remember the days of the Iron Curtain and expected that you would never be able to see places like this in Eastern Europe. I still get amazed that we are so freely able to visit these countries and beautiful cities.
With this, our visit to Budapest, our Danube River Cruise, and our post-cruise stay in Prague came to an end. We had the hotel arrange a taxi for us, and we headed back to the airport and we were on our way home.
If you have enjoyed this video or found it helpful in some way, please give us a like. We would love to have you subscribe to the channel and share it with a friend. Feel free to comment on whether you have visited Prague and how you like the city.
Until next time, we say,
Bon voyage!